Right, we've got our reporters on the ground. Aviwe Mtila is in Johannesburg, Pule Letshwiti-Jones is in Soweto, and Nqobie Madlala is in Durban. Let's start with you, Aviwe. The mystery around murderer and rapist Thabo Besta's prison escape is deepening. We understand that one of the three bodies that his girlfriend, Dr. Nandipha Makudumana, claimed at mortuaries in the Free State has been identified, of course. But do we know who the other two are, Aviwe?
That's the big question, Masego, and sadly at this stage we don't have those answers. Only Friday the Mpolo family found out, of course, after those DNA swabs was done and tested, that in fact their son, Katlego Mpolo, is the one that was charred, that body that was charred in South 35 in the Maung Correctional Center. The big question is, who are these other two? You know that there are these murder charges, Masego. Of course, that would talk to the blunt trauma force that Katlego suffered. He was dead before actually he was placed into South 35, and of course no smoke in the lungs suggests that in fact he didn't die in the cell. So already that's out, and the police are investigating that murder charge. But if you speak to crime experts, they'll tell you that the possibility is that in fact all these bodies could have been tracked down by Dr. Nandipha while they were still alive, profiled, of course, to try and fit Thabo Besta, the description of Thabo Besta and his height, and of course then they were killed and then also tracked down in terms of the mortuary and then claimed there. Some of the conversations that I've been having throughout the morning, one with crime expert from the Tshwane University of Technology, Professor Jacob Mofokeng. Let's just take a listen to what he had to say around the murder charges and how these two missing bodies could have been killed deliberately and profiled.
The one that was in cell 35, then when a post-mortem was conducted, because that's where now it attracted a lot of attention, because despite being found in cell 35 and charred and and then all other accelerants could be smelled through that, it was when now it was identified that a blunt object was utilized as a means to effect that kind of that might have ended the life of Katlego. So with other two bodies, it has been silent, in terms of what the police did, to indicate whether indeed there was any foul play, effected on those other bodies. But if then the police have investigated and they found that, it was a particular cause of death, it could be that they are also investigating to try to link these bodies.
All right, let's take you to Pule now in Soweto, where the bodies of two young boys were found mutilated last week. Police are yet to make any arrests. Meanwhile, Action SA leader Herman Mashaba has put forward a 50,000 Rand reward for anyone who can come forward with information. Pule, what's the latest on this story there?
Yeah, patrollers here in this area say they haven't been resting after what had happened. The discovery of those two bodies there, of a 5-year-old child and a 6-year-old child. Just earlier on, we spoke to the mother of 6-year-old Tiamo Rabanye, who said that they're still waiting for answers from the police. In fact, they have welcomed the investigations, but they want the killers brought to book as soon as possible. And we spoke to the patrollers as well, who were saying that this incident has sparked outrage in this community, but most importantly as well, there's been fear. Yesterday there was a similar incident that happened where the patrollers allege a child was taken away or abducted from where she was, but later found after they managed to work together and trace where she could possibly be. We are told that there will be a meeting in the next couple of days that will be taking place amongst the community members to ensure that they can fight crime in this area, because then at the end of the day it seems as though there is of course a syndicate that's possibly operating and targeting children. That's according to the patrollers here, who are saying that they want to ensure that they put an end to the trace of the particular syndicate as well. But we will wait for the investigations which will reveal whether there is a syndicate in this area or not, And of course, we've seen how a lot of politicians have come out in this area to raise awareness and try to be with the family and show a bit of support there. Particularly the latest one of the Action SA leader, Herman Mashaba, saying that he would pay anyone who would come up with very important information which would lead to the arrests of the suspects to the tune of about 50,000 rand. And the families have also welcomed that move from Mashaba there from Action SA. But let's take a listen to what one of the patrollers, Mr. Sibusiso Khatshwayo, had to say earlier on when we spoke to him.
Well, ever since this incident has happened, we haven't been resting as patrollers, as well as the SAPS. I'm talking about your JMPD as well. We make it a point that we extended our hours as patrolling. We make it a point that we increase the capacity of patrollers as well. We're communicating with patrollers from outside as well to actually assist us in regards to the issue here. And then ever since this incident has happened, like for instance, we had an event yesterday for candlelight. After the event, we had another incident whereby there was an attempt again of a child that was almost taken from Ipelecheng, which is a place nearby, almost the same street. So now the child here was actually taken by another guy there who was described wearing a trouser that had a little bit of blood stains on it. And then the guy just took the child, and he was watching the child just before he took them. He watched them for quite a long time, and then after that he took the child. They went straight to a place called by what's this here? They call it Homemakers. Yeah, they call that place here. So I don't know whether they were passing by Homemakers or that's where they actually going.
Now, Nqobie, you're in Durban, where the much-delayed Sindiso Makaqha trial has been postponed yet again, this time to tomorrow. You'll remember Makaqha was ambushed while sitting in his car with fellow councillors nearly 6 years ago. He died 2 months later while in hospital. Now, Nqobie, why was the trial postponed again, and are we certain that it will in fact resume tomorrow?
Well, Masego, according to the state, they are ready. So they seem to be very much certain in terms of tomorrow that they are ready to start with trial. But today was postponed because the third accused, which we understand, Umlungisi Nqalane, it seems he is currently attending another court case. You will remember that the third accused is currently out on bail on Makaqha's trial case. However, now it seems he is now attending another one, which is separate to Makaqha's case in KwaMaphumulo. And as a result, they have now asked that they make sure that he's available to be part of the trial, which will be tomorrow. And they are going to work on that and in ensuring that he is going to be at the Pietermaritzburg court. But I must say, Masego, for the family, it's been very difficult. In fact, they were saying that it just keeps getting postponed and they want closure. So a lot of hurt and pain coming out of the family's side, saying that they just want to put an end to this. And we managed to get to some of the officials from the area, and they were telling us that from the ANC, saying that in the region they also want to put an end to this. But not only this, there are other people that were killed, and they feel that it also needs to see some justice. But at this point they feel that everything is just very, very slow, and the family also needs closure, and so they just want to see this happening as quick as possible. But of course, we will have to see about that tomorrow. Let's listen in to the father.
The family is very much disturbed about what happened in 2017 up to now. The major reason is that we lost our brother. Mamncane lost his son, the breadwinner. Another thing is this: there are things that are dragging this case. It was on the 18th of July 2022. It was remanded for 24th of April this year. But now when we are in court, we are told that another suspect is in court in Maphumulo. He has done a GPV there. Now will be available tomorrow in order that the case can start again.
All right, that was your eNCA lunchtime update from all angles with reporters Aviwe Mtila, Pule Letshwiti-Jones and Nqobie Madlala. Thank you very much, team.